Here we go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. I'm Mika. Here at Leap Taken, I talk all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And welcome to today's video where I'm going to be talking about protection magic. As I silence my notifications, I'm going to be talking about protection magic or protective magic, shielding yourself from negative energy. So this particular subject is right on point for me because I am in the process of practicing what I preach. Um, but before I get to that, let me get into the subject matter. Here at Leap Taken, I talk all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. Um, so, I think this topic is important because as witches and spiritual practitioners, we're constantly working with energy. Knowing how to protect yourself ensures you can do it safely and sustainably. And you're not probably used to hearing the term sustainably as it relates to this particular subject matter. It's usually, to me, honestly, a lot of more preachy way that you're hearing about being more sustainable. But being sustainable is not just people. At least this is how I feel. Sometimes when I feel like people are talking about sustainability, it's usually from a place of privilege, so they have, the resources, the abilities to practice that, but others can't. For instance, um, depending on where the way you are financially, you might be shopping fast fashion, but that's the only way you're going to be able to get new clothes because realistically, trying to purchase clothes that are not considered fast fashion is expensive, and you may not be able to do that. And not everybody is just wearing clothes. I mean, most people want to be stylish, I think, to some degree, but some people, you have different activities. I want to work out. I need to rip and run and do this. I volunteer at this place. I can't, I need my clothes to look a certain way. I go to, church or something like that. So you need to be dressed up. So you need to go to work, and it's not business casual. It's all business. So you get what I'm saying. So you need a variety of different clothing options, and you're wearing them regularly, so you need them to last. It's nice to be able to invest in certain pieces, but also nobody takes into account not being skinny, just being quite frankly fat. And if you are the kind of if you are fat and you are somebody who doesn't have the typical hourglass, now we're in a whole nother ballpark about like finding fashion. Like, I'm just saying, I think that sometimes people get on their high horse about sustainability. So if you heard that and you're like me, it's kind of like a little bit of a trigger because it kind of pissed me off a little bit when I hear it, to be honest with you. Because again, it's almost always coming from someone's mouth who's in a space of privilege. So when I say safely and sustainably, meaning you can sustain this practice, you can sustain this work. That's what I mean. It's in the most simplest way. So there you go. So first off, I'm curious to know, and there's not many people here yet, but that's okay. In the comments, do you already have an active, um, or do you practice protective magic? Do you have a go-to method? Um, it seems like a simple question, but that's one of the things that I like to harp on. I'm a cottage witch, if you didn't know, if you're watching this. So, as a cottage witch, a big part of my practice is protection magic. And part of kind of keeping the vibes, keeping the energy, the frequency in my home, and, drawing from that energy is when we have to protect the energy. And it's an ongoing thing. So I have wards, and I'm going to go over a lot of different things, but I use a lot of different tools for protection as well. But I like to refresh. And then there's your person on your person, having personal protection as well. Don't forget to like this video, by the way. Subscribe to Leap Taken if you haven't already, so we can enjoy more discussions like this. If you like this, please go ahead and subscribe. Also, consider hitting the join button to join Leap Taken membership. There are some wonderful perks like 40% off over at my website, leaptaken.com, as well as member-specific content, member-only videos. And they're getting exclusive videos that are not featured on the main channel, like me actually doing spell work and rituals, me actually providing readings. I only do that for the members. That's something special for them. So if you're interested, please hit that join button. I'd greatly appreciate it, and also supports the channel. So now that I got that business over, I'm getting better at this. Remembering to say this stuff in the beginning. Apparently, some of us need reminders. I'm me. I People tell me that, and I'm like, oh yeah, let me subscribe. So I'm talking to people like me. So protect, and I have my notes here. So if you see me looking, that's what I'm looking at. Protective magic is all about setting energetic boundaries to safeguard yourself, your home, your life from harmful influences. It's a cornerstone of witchcraft and spiritual practice, blending intention, tools, and ritual to create a protective shield. So I want to talk about negative energy, sources of negative energy, toxic environments or people. So, hey, Dylan, we've all dealt with situations or people that leave us feeling drained or uneasy. So that's what I mean about toxic environments or people. Then there's the emotional overwhelm. This is the part that's near and dear to me. Emotional overwhelm. Sometimes we generate negative energy ourselves when we're stressed or anxious. I'm discovering this about myself as I walk this walk at this phase of my life, where I feel, it's so funny because we talk about transition. I feel like we're always in some form of transition, um, whether it be emotionally, spiritually, physically, because you're always evolving. You're never staying the exact same. However, I think some transitions are felt a little bit more intensely than others. This one I'm feeling very intensely. So there's that emotional overwhelm. And you probably hadn't thought about protection magic against emotional overwhelm. People don't, when I say negative energy, I know a lot of people think, oh, like the toxic environment or people and things like that. Emotional overwhelm can take you the F out, all the way the F out. You can be your worst enemy. You can really just think about some of the negative self talk, even if you're not like doing that now, but that you've been capable of. We can do some damage to ourselves. Spiritual interference. This is another source of negative energy. If you're sensitive to spiritual energy, some of us are more than others, you may encounter entities or astral debris. Um, I don't want to focus on the specifics of what this is because to me, that's an entirely different video. Um, but if you're open to the idea of wayward spirits, ghosts, entities that I guess if you have no other words or other way to describe, you will put in that demon category. Or if you prefer those words, because no shade. If that's what that's how you refer to it, that's how you refer to it. Sometimes that's the only other word that fits, right? But like demons, right? Like if you don't hear me talk like that very often because it's not really part of my story. But for others, I know it is. So I'm talking to everybody. I'm trying to speak to anybody who can hear this. Um, Low vibrating energy, spiritual interference. Um, I will go as far as to say, as someone who specifically works with house spirits, I'm going to give a very broad term, house spirits. It is important that once you engage, depending on the type, so now we're getting more into like the Fae, it is important that if you engage and you have a relationship, if you would like to sever that relationship at some point, you need to do that. Don't engage and then walk away or ignore. I would strongly suggest you not do that with spirits you've invited in, specifically in my case, because I work with the Fae. Go too long ignoring them and not kind of keeping the harmony. Not saying you got to, always be giving out things and doing stuff. That's up to you and the agreement that y'all have. But I do believe that if you ignore these spirits for too long, they will be a little bit unpleasant, maybe a lot, and make themselves known, especially if they've aided you in the past and you're ignoring them. That there's that. Then I'm going to talk about another source, which is environmental factors. Cluttered spaces, stagnant energy can contribute to a sense of heaviness. Um, this one actually is the other sneaky one that you don't realize. You always thought maybe your mom. Just think about a lot of us who grew up with moms. They come in your room, or you were supposed to do your chores, and they look around and they're mad. Like they're legitimately mad. Like you did some horrific thing. You're like, dang, I'll clean it up. What's the big deal? It is overstimulating, it's overwhelming, it is beyond annoying when you walk into a space that you pay for and it's a mess. Now, times that by 10 if it's your mess and it's your house and you're paying for it and you're the only one that's going to be able to clean it up, and you are just maybe you're dealing with overwhelming emotions, or you just don't have time, you're busy, you got stuff going on. But all that clutter that you're trying to just ignore and get by to get to the next part of your house or do something can have a negative effect on you. Also, one more bonus, I would say, you know how some of us keep a running to-do list in our head of things we know we need to clean, declutter, and get back to, especially like during the holidays, people are going to be coming over and you're like, dang, I got to really clean out. Oh, I got to sweep this. I got to do this. Just keeping that is causing stress and anxiety. We're putting stress and anxiety in a negativity category, just a broad term, but you see what I'm saying? So we're talking about all these different sources. And again, a lot of this, we're doing it to ourselves. Like nobody's coming in. There's no boogeyman. There's no, horn devil coming to make this bad for us. A lot of us are making choices and it's having a negative effect on us. All right, so now let's talk about types of protective magic or protection magic. Shielding techniques. Shielding is an energetic practice where you create a barrier around yourself. This can be a daily habit, especially if you're interacting with many people or intense energies. Visualization shield. Imagine a strong protective barrier forming around you. It can be a glowing dome, a shimmering mist, or even a layer of armor or whatever resonates with you. And then there's a mirror shield. So picture mirrors surrounding you, reflecting any harmful energy away. This technique is great for protecting yourself from negativity, like in social or work environments. Um, you can take this up. Right now, we're in the space of just like you don't have any tools, you don't have anything on you. You're just, However, I know if you're in a workspace, like in a corporate space, or you just have like a cubicle type situation, I would keep a mirror and keep it so you could always see behind you. With this in mind, I mean, for a lot of different reasons, but with this in mind, warding. I feel like shielding is not talked about a lot, not practiced a lot. Yeah, I'm also calling myself out right now. Exactly. This is going to help us all. This is going to help us all. So, warding is about protecting a space. So, like your home, I talked about that, or your office, it involves setting up an energetic boundaries with physical or magical tools. So, let's talk about some examples. Black tourmaline, obsidian, hematite. If you place those near doors and windows, it can help to absorb negative energy. Salt lines around entryways for purification. I'm big on that. Protective symbols like sigils, also big on that, or pentacles drawn with chalk or carved into candles. You can put these obviously on, a lot of people, if you can't put it on your door per se, you can put it like with chalk, draw the sigil on the landing right outside your door where you will put your doormat. And you don't want people in your business, just put it there. Any black or brown crystals are great for protection. Yeah. A lot of times I work just by color with crystals. I'm like, I ain't got time. It's green, we talking money. If it's black or brown, we talking grounding or protection. And I just let it rock with that. I'll figure out what it is later. So I agree with that. Yeah, so those sigils and those symbols and pentacles and things like that, I have found have offered. I've had great success with that, by the way. Using those, and then we can get more into like witches bottles and all that sort of stuff. There's so much under this category that you can do. There's things that are specific to cultures, indigenous practices, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, you know about saging and all that, right? Protective spells. Spells can amplify your protective magic. Use them to remember, right now we haven't cast a spell. I haven't talked about that. Just going by colors, right? um, but spells can help as well with amplifying the protective magic. So you want to use them to charge objects or even create talismans. Obviously, you can do some other things as well, but I'm going to give you just some ideas right now. So, like a quick protection spell, write your intention on paper, wrap it in black thread, and carry it. Kind of in the mindset of like with you know how people talk about like writing a note or a sigil and using herbs and putting it in your wallet. I knew this was up here like irritating me, this string. Anyway, you can do that also with intention, the intention of protection in mind. So write your intent on paper. You can wrap it in black thread so you can roll it or fold it, whatever you want, and just carry it with you. Then there's mojo bags, protective mojo bags. So you can combine any sort of herbs or any objects or things like that that you want to carry with you that resonates with you. Some examples, you know, I'm not saying this is the end all to be all. Rosemary, bay leaves, black salt, and again, the crystal, like a piece of black obsidian in a bag. And you can, again, put that in a bag and just carry it with you. So these are in the category of sort of like protective spells. You know, if you've done any sort of practice, you could do a lot more. I might have said this before, but I'm not sure. But I love your glasses. Thank you. I love them too. These are my favorite. I have another pair and they're like an octagon shape, and I love those when I want to walk around and look like a fabulous older lady from New York. But in the meantime, these are like my go-to. These are my favorite. I plan to get actually, yeah, I need to get another pair soon. I used to wait too long to get glasses. I don't know why. You know what? I was a mom and I was putting myself last. I wasn't going to the doctor to get my eyes checked to find out. I've lived a life. I'll just say that. I used to put myself last. I took everybody else to the doctors, made sure their eyes were checked, make sure everything was good on them. Me personally, no. I sat there and, you know, risked a dance with death and not being able to see. That's how I got down. But I'm better. I don't do that anymore. And my kids grew up and now it's all about me. Practical applications of protective magic. I am not advocating that is a great way to do motherhood, by the way. It actually sucks. Self care is important. I believe you worn the octagon on the stream before. I love that pair too. Thank you. All right, so daily practices for protection, grounding and shielding. So start your day with a few moments of grounding. You can do the visualization where like you're rooted to the earth and then you can create an energetic shield. You can do that. Again, carrying protective crystals. Another idea like keeping amethyst, smoky quartz in your pocket or wear them as jewelry for constant protection. Also, oils. Use protective oils. And short examples, I wrote some things down here like rosemary, frankincense, or patchouli into your skincare or anointing rituals. You can do things like that. So we're talking like put it on your person, put the oils on your body. Selfish era, correct. I'm definitely in that era. And then, but the ground. I want to talk a little bit more about the daily practices for protection, the grounding and the shielding. Um, it is easy for me to talk about this now because I am coming out of a bout of craziness that has lasted for about a week or so. So I could not gather the energy or the care personally, as a witch who's been practicing for quite some time, to do any grounding and shielding. That would have come in handy. So I want to speak to when you don't feel like it for a host of reasons. You might just have some legitimate issues, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, or all of those things at the same time. And you just don't have the F to give to do these things, but you would like to feel better, but you're so into the spiral, you can't make yourself feel better. At some point, I have found, and I guess I'm in a mental health category right now, for me, at some point, it does become less intense. I have to wait until it's less intense, and then I can start. No, it's not in a room. It was the F was not in a room for a solid week. Then I can be me and know and do the things that help me feel better. But until there is the feelings of overwhelm, um, and just not feeling grounded and unable to make myself do anything else, until that feeling it breaks up just a little bit. I don't need for it to go away at all, but like just I just need just a window, a sliver. Then I can pull myself back. I'm seeing this pattern take place with myself. I just need a minute. So one, I give myself grace for feeling my feelings, feeling what I feel, like allowing me it, and it doesn't feel good. So when I say feeling your feelings, those negative feelings, sometimes they rise to the surface, whether it's grief, sadness, depression, anxiousness, all of those things at the same time, which is the sense of overwhelm, where you feel like you're being drowned with your own emotions and you need air and you just can't get it. That level of intensity. And yet you're somehow moving and you see yourself kind of moving through life and low key disassociating, and you're doing the things, but you're not like there. Um, one day of that is maddening. A week feels debilitating. Anything longer than that, y'all need to come see about me. So far, I've had, hey, name's Renee. uh, see about me at that point. A week is about as much as I can handle before I realize I could pull myself back in. And here's the thing that sucks about all this. This is not even my doing. I try to, within reason, I've cut back on substances that would like trigger this. This is all just some hormonal crap that I'm having to deal with. So I thought I wanted. That's why I even did this video. I want to talk about the subject matter because I'm literally dealing with it. Um, so to people in that situation where it's not a quick fix, I don't think it's supposed to be. I think sometimes we have to be uncomfortable. We have to settle with it, being uncomfortable, being not being able to immediately resolve the issue. For some of us who are really into kind of productivity, and some of us who are probably like older siblings, um, we tend to want to resolve problems. When something arises, we want to fix it. We don't want to linger. We just want to fix it. We want to get to the resolution process very quickly. A lot of us fire signs are like this. Here's the thing. Well, we know, rationally speaking, that's not how life works. You can't always fix things immediately. Sometimes, there's just going to be a gaping hole until, you know sometimes there's gonna you can't make the wound heal faster. Like, these are the times I'm trying to have like different types of magic going on. I just want it to be fixed. I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to think bad thoughts. I just want this to stop. I have realized there's a danger to being this way. One, you leave yourself open to substance abuse very easily because you are just trying to avoid stuff. Possibly abusive relationships, because gaslighting is going to work on you. So I'm gonna, for me, I've done a lot of shadow work, a lot of mental health. I've been in therapy over various points of my adulthood. So I'm speaking from experience. And as a practicing witch, it has become, like in this stage of my life, it has become very obvious. I have to learn to be uncomfortable. I have to be okay with, I'm not going to be able to resolve what's bothering me because one, I don't even freaking fully comprehend. Um, Perimenopause is a hell of a thing. You don't know. People just think menopause and they think hot flashes. Perimenopausal symptoms is a whole other beast. I have found out in my understanding of what's happening to me is that as my body is doing this transition, it makes me a little crazy, a little wonky, a little more than all the things, because my hormones are trying to adjust to everything. And it's rather it's hard, and it could send you into a depressive state, and nothing's wrong. Do you know how hard it is to explain this to people who are counting on me or looking for me to do something that I've promised, or even to myself, and I can't specifically tell you what's wrong. I just feel the worst. So in these moments, because I'm going on a tangent, in all these moments of grounding and shielding, it is very hard for me to grapple with that. I have given myself again the grace to just wait it out, be uncomfortable with this, and with no apologies at this stage of my life, because this is real. No one told me this was going to happen to me, by the way. I did not know this was a thing until it started happening to me and all my friends. Um, and I'm just giving myself the grace to feel the feels. If you are wondering and you're born a woman and you're dealing with the monthly cycle and you're like, oh, so is it kind of like PMS worse? And still having PMS. So still dealing with PMS and then on some off week feeling like you're losing your mind has nothing to do with the PMS part. A different type of feeling, a different, just stronger. And then nothing, and then you're fine for the rest of the months. Months could go by and you're just happy and everything's great and you feel like you have all the solutions, and then out of nowhere you're back again. So that's a fun ride I'm on. Dylan says, I've been doing my best this year with feeling my feelings and having control not to act upon them. It feels good. Yeah. Learning to be uncomfortable. I think there's a part of our society who needs to get better at feeling uncomfortable and just being okay with that. It's not going to take you out. It's not. You just got to kind of work through it. I've learned so much about myself because of menopause. There you go. Say hi, the Princess Diaries. Yeah, just learning to feel the feels. And it sounds cute when I say that, feel the feels. The feels are not good feelings, by the way. These are not. These are not good feelings. They are horrific. If you spiral, you'll be doing all the negative self talk. The things you're trying to get out of you, you'll be responsible for doing that to yourself. So you have to be very, it's a walk. I'm walking this journey, it's a walk. But I just wanted my point of bringing all this up was um, it's okay if you don't have it in you to carry out the very thing that you desperately need to do to feel better. You just My best advice is to wait until that sliver of just you woke up and in that moment you felt like, huh, it's not so bad. Jump on it. That's it. Because it might go crazy the rest of the day. In that moment, you felt like, oh, wait, I think I feel a little bit better. That's Do the grounding and shielding at that point. That's me. That's where I'm doing. That's what I do. In the height of it, I don't have it in me. Wait, and that's okay because it's a process. It's happening. I can't make it stop, and I'm not trying to drug myself into oblivion to numb myself to everything either. Well, not all the time. Just being honest. So, moving to the next thing, protecting your home. Cleansing your space regularly is key. Cleansing. I'll get into the cleaning. We kind of talked about the cleaning. Cleansing, though. I like a smoke cleanse. I know that's highly debated. Oh, you're taking over the indigenous and all that. My grandma told me we had Indian in our family, so I'm allowed. I know I'm sounding real cavalier about that, but fight my grandma. It's her birthday today. She just turned 90, so tread lightly. But no, seriously, smoke cleansing is cool, in my opinion, because smoke cleansing, I didn't say smudging, and I'm not necessarily talking about sage. Although you got some kitchen sage going like that on fire. It's your home. Do what you want to do. I think we get confused when we read these things about, oh, not, co-opting another person's practice in your home. You're not shooting a video, you're not selling it. Thank you. In your home, go on and light that dang on sage stick if you want it. That's what you're called to do. If that's what feels right for you in your practice, do it. Anyway, sound. Sound is another one. For me, music that makes me feel something and I'm loving that vibration, I'm going to blast it in my house. I'm going to have a playlist and I'm blasted. So find you a playlist where it resonates with you, like you feel it. It's something about those notes. I don't care if it's slow, fast, pop, jazz, K-pop in my case, or whatever. Feel it. Break out into a song and a dance when you're doing it. That is great for the energy. And then sprays with protective herbs like rosemary or lavender or anything else. You can put those little crystal chips that come in those little small things. put some of that in there too. Also, there are different varieties of sage. Exactly. All right, so that's a couple things that you can do as far as for the home. Obviously, you can do a lot more. Crystal grids are a thing. Um, I talked like a couple seconds about witches bottles. You can take this outside and you can plant things as well for protection. Don't have to be a big old thing. You don't have to dig real deep or dig a big hole or anything like that, but you put a little something out there to protect your home. And then the car. You can do things in a car too. Also, I think physical movement exercise for cleansing isn't talked about enough. Oh my gosh, you are right. Um, in my more not great feeling moments, I would just go walk to the mailbox. So you know how most new places now they don't come to your house and give you the mail. You got to go to a central place like in apartments and stuff like that. So I'll walk there. I'll take my time walking. I might walk or do a lap around a little bit, not as often as I should, but I might do something like that. One, I realize you need to get outside. You need to let some sun touch you, not in a way where you're rushing into the car to go to work or something like that, but like just go walk to the mailbox. And that's my thing. Just go take a walk. Stop thinking about stuff. Just go take a walk. But yeah, movement is key as well. Um, and again, I talked about the crystal grid as well. You can use black tourmaline. We kind of talked about some crystals, clear quartz, any protective stone, and put them in the corners of your home. That's one way. Another way is you can actually get some sort of pattern if you want. What is it? The mandras? I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. Anyway, but y'all know what I'm talking about, the geometric shapes, and you can put that there and just put it in a strategic place in your home. You can have several going for abundance, for protection, for love, for whatever else. But you can have a couple different crystal grids going in your home. I do that. I have strategic crystals around the home, and then I have the crystal grid too. But you can create the grid in your home by actually putting in the corners. You just see it as the four corners in your home. I mean, unless your house is round, but I don't know. You'll figure it out. Metatron's cube, yeah. All right, so dealing with negative people, gratefully, that is not too much of me because I have gotten a lot of negative people out of my life. I don't have too many of them. We're still keeping the Halloween cups. I'm a witch all year, and witches are not just for Halloween. So we're keeping those cups out. But anyway, um, we can't always avoid them though, right? But we can manage their impact on us, negative people. So visualize a barrier between you and them, like a wall of energy that their negativity bounces off of. Affirmations is another thing you can use. You could say, be thinking, their energy does not affect me. I remain grounded and strong. Their energy does not affect me. I remain grounded and strong. Something like that. Um, I just have my dad in my life. That's the only negative person in my life. Oh my gosh. He says the only negative person. Listen, a lot of people, unfortunately, I think there is a lot of adults, where it's like, I don't really have a lot of negative people in my life. And then they look over at like a parent or a sibling and they're like, them, them. But I'm a big thing of meeting people where they are. And if that's just not possible, um, I won't meet you at all. But that's a tough decision to come to. Right now, gratefully, I haven't had to. No, I've had family members who are negative, and I had to just basically excommunicate them. I just don't mess with them at all. I'm not meeting them where they are. I don't want to be where they are. All right. So I want to talk about a guided protective magic exercise. If you guys will indulge me, it's a demonstration of a simple shielding ritual. So you could adapt this for your needs or you could practice it daily. So you want to be sitting comfortably, take some deep breaths, inhaling peace and exhaling tension. He has to be in my life at this moment. Well, yeah. So maybe don't meet him where he is. Leave him where he's at, but you just do life around him, you know. You might want to do this guided meditation, by the way. All right, so again, I'm going to repeat instructions. We're going to be sitting comfortably. We're going to take some deep breaths. Three is my number, so I'm going to tell you to take three deep breaths. Inhaling peace, exhaling tension. So peace, tension, peace, tension, peace, tension. Close your eyes, visualize an energetic barrier forming around you. This barrier can look like a dome, a veil, or a shield, is up to you. I'm not a fan of the white light thing. A lot of people use that. I don't like that. Uh, then close, yeah. So focus on the sensation of safety and strength that this barrier provides to you. So you want to take, what is it to feel? This might evoke a memory of when you felt safe. For me, if I want to do a visualization like this, I think of summertime. I think I'm about 5, 6 years old. My grandma lives in a place we're back in Camden, New Jersey, and a place called Pollock Town. Yeah. And we're in her house. It's the summer, and she made us all come inside, and she turned all the lights off, all the electricity, because it was a thunder and lightning storm. And I wasn't hot, even though it's the summer. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe the earth was different then. Um, and she just made me feel so safe. And I remember one of my aunts or uncles, my mom had me young and she's the oldest, so I'm close to her, a lot of her siblings' age, and her sisters, that is. Her brother was older. But anyway, I remember somebody wanted to take a shower, and my grandma's reaction was like, run water. And then there was like the kids outside. I remember they used to say things like, when it was thundering and lightning, that was the devil. I mean, that was God fighting with his wife. I never questioned this at the time, but anyway, coming inside. So I feel like the the heavens are going through it. And my grandmom just made me feel safe in her living room. And like, we'd be on the couch, and I was scared by the thunder and lightning, but like, she just made me feel safe. Like, that's what I would visualize. That summer day, it's dark, and she won't let us run anything, electricity or anything. And I felt like she was gonna just protect me against everything. She had the answers, like, don't run water, don't turn on any electrical devices. That safety. That's what I envision when I think, if I'm doing this, that's the safest I remember feeling. Close second is sleeping with my mom. Like, I was afraid to sleep in a room by myself, so I slept with my mom, so I felt safe. But yeah, so definitely do that. So get that focus in your head, whether you bring out a memory like me, but you want to bring about a sensation of safety and strength that this barrier is going to provide. And then repeat this affirmation: I am surrounded by energy that protects me and strengthens me. Only positive influences may enter. I would speak that 3 times. I am surrounded by energy that protects me and strengthens me. Only positive influences may enter. I am surrounded by energy that protects me and strengthens me. Only positive influences may enter. With each breath, you want to imagine that barrier becomes stronger and more impenetrable. That's what you want to work with. And I want you to think about how you might be feeling if you do this. Um, Visualization and intent are kind of key in all this, by the way. It makes this practice effective. Otherwise, it's not going to work. I've learned that the hard way. People like trying to just follow the prompts to listening to like a pre-recorded guided meditation. It didn't work. It didn't work. I need a connection. For me, I need a memory. I need something, a set, something to kind of pull me into the vibration of what it is I'm supposed to be evoking or getting connected to. I need some other stimuli so I can activate my memories. my mom would be involved in a protective visualization. There you go. Yeah, a lot of us probably, hopefully you're, it is your parent. You felt safe with them, or maybe it's a partner, that you've never felt safe until you were with that person, whatever it is. But do call on that for this purpose. And a lot of us, these are things that you're going to want to be doing. You might be out in public, you might be in a situation that really makes you very uncomfortable, and you use this. Um, yeah. And I think you asked who, Dylan, oh, about the cactus around me. Since you live in Arizona, have you ever visualized a protective cactus around? No, I haven't, but I will think about that. A protective cactus. And so far, no. Um, all right, so a couple tips, final tips. Protective magic or protection magic is most powerful when it's part of your regular practice. So you want to experiment with different techniques to find out like what resonates most with you. When I say regular doesn't mean every day per se for some of us. Regular could be weekly, it could be a couple times out of the month where you're doing certain things to kind of keep that protective layer going on your person, your house, your amulet. Using the objects and tools that are considered consecrated and they're charged with the intention of protection is also part of the practice as well. A lot of times we get things, I'm guilty. I'll work on something, it might be by myself or with the coven, and then I realize I'll get a new shiny new thing that does the same thing, and I completely forgot about that other thing where I really should be working with all of these things, the shiny new thing that has like a charm or amulet, but I've already got this other tool, amulet or something like that, and I kind of just forget about that, and I'm using the shiny new thing, and then it just repeats. Wouldn't it be a great idea to use them all and maybe have them all around me instead of just like, forgetting this other one? Wouldn't that just be great? Wouldn't that be extra protection? Yes, I'm talking to myself now. So just be mindful about that too. But anyway, that's kind of what I mean by like regular. Always remember protection starts with you, your energy, your intention or your intent, and whatever your most powerful tools are. For a lot of us, it's our mind. It's our mind, which harkens back to kind of the tangent I went on earlier about where I'm at. We can do the damage. We don't, no one's bullying you. No one's telling you anything. A lot of us, we're doing it to ourselves. We are our own enemy. So the mind is very powerful. So let's work on intentions. Affirmations work. Using affirmations just maybe to help yourself so you're not so damaging to self can be helpful. And it's a process. It's not something that for a lot of us happens overnight. And like me, because I have this new thing happening with me that is going to change my energy, and it's little, my chemistry of Mika is literally being altered in real time. So you have to think about it. We're made up of a bunch of chemicals. So my chemicals, my hormones, they're all adjusting and readjusting. So how I'm thinking is changing. My outlook is changing. Um, so I have to guard that. I'm almost I listen, I now that I'm feeling better, I've been thinking to myself, well, what if we did some protection magic on like my mind? I want to keep my mind. I want to evolve. I'm okay with changing, but I don't want to change into something that I don't even recognize. Because the way my thoughts are being set up right now and just how I'm feeling, I don't want the negativity to take over. So, casting a protection spell to keep the core of me. I'd like that. Um, so anyway, those were my tips if you're interested. But yeah, again, like, subscribe, share, all that YouTube stuff. For more Richie content, go ahead and hit that join button again if you'd like to join Leap Taken membership. Again, it supports the channel. There are some wonderful perks. You're getting huge discounts at my website, leaptaken.com, as well, plus member only content. And I have a second YouTube channel if you're interested. It's called Magical Lifestyle of a Cottage Witch. There is more vlog style. You'll be seeing different types of hauls for the home. It's a lot more home centered. So you can check me out over there if you're interested as well. And I just thank you all for watching and for talking to me. It's like everything is connected. I hope that did not sound sarcastic. No, everything is connected. You're right. All right. So thank you again for joining me today. Be magical, stay protected. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. Bye. Thank you.